Cole, initial reaction to that game and obviously the way it ended up going?
Yeah, I mean, sucks for the outcome and the way it ended. Give credit to them that they played a better full game than we did. Obviously we had some opportunities there to kind of close it out, and we didn't do that. So we got to do a better job on that front.
Such a good first drive. Pete, you guys
Sure.
are playing well on offense. Defense is playing well, but I guess from the offense perspective, what happened?
I think our execution just has to be better, and when it comes down to those penalties, that's where we can be better, more disciplined, and that's us as players while we're out there being on the same page and making sure we're executing. And when you're falling behind the chains against a coordinator like that, against a defense like that, you're putting yourself in a pickle. I think in that first drive we did a good job of staying ahead of the sticks, and we didn't do that there towards the end of the game.
Cole, when the offense gets stuck in the mud, what are easy ways to try to get out?
I think the easiest thing is just to be on our P's and Q's in terms of the execution. I think we're hurting ourselves more often than anything. You can sustain a 1 or 2 yard gain, and obviously that's not much, but that's way better than being backed up 10 yards, 5-10 yards from a penalty, sack, what have you, those type of mistakes. So we just need to negate those negatives, and I think we would have had a better outcome there.
We've talked a lot about that, like even through the preseason. How do you quickly clean that up?
Yeah, I wish I knew. I think, unfortunately that's been a little bit of a theme for us throughout the preseason and in training camp, and obviously it showed its head here today a little bit. So we just got to practice harder. We got to be better, and we got to continue to work on those things. That's obviously something that we've struggled with, but something that we got to continue to grow.
Cole, I know it's just one game, but you've been here a while now. Dealt with some tough losses too. I mean, this one, big lead going into the game late.
Sure. Yeah, it stings because it's a division opponent, so that I think that's where it hurts to throw up the year. And that being said, I've actually had my fair share of opening day wins, and down the road they end up not meaning as much as you think they do. So hopefully that's the case with this one. So we got to be able to move on here quickly to Detroit on Sunday. It's going to be a quick turnaround for us. So yeah, it sucks right now. Let it sting tonight, but really come tomorrow afternoon, we got to be able to move on to Detroit. They're already a day ahead of us.
That's such a swing of emotions. Pick six like that.
Yeah.
You guys are in command and you end up losing the game. How do you describe it from your point of view?
I mean, at the end of the day, the individual accolades don't matter once you don't win. You want to come out on top by any means necessary. So, obviously it was a great play, but you want to finish. So we've got to go back to the drawing board. Learn how to finish.
How did you, or the defense as a whole, feel the impact of not having Jalen and Kyler and TJ out there?
I think we kind of just have a next man up mentality. We went through training camp with the guys who made this 53, and obviously they put the 53 together the way they felt that was necessary, and we believe in the guys that are out there, no matter who's down, who's up.
What happened on the pass interference?
It was one of those ones where the ball just kind of underthrown, and then I kind of felt like he kind of stopped and kind of like pulled me in just a little bit. So smart play on his end.
How do you explain, though, the penalties that really piled up tonight?
We just have to play disciplined football. I think we kind of let them off the hook with those penalties for sure.
How do you explain the difference between the first 3 quarters and then the fourth quarter?
It's hard to say right now without watching the tape. You know what I'm saying? I think some mistakes and penalties kept drives alive when we kind of executed. Some things is a little questionable, but however it go, we just got to play a cleaner game. Can't give them opportunities, and it definitely was a point of emphasis for us going into the game, knowing that we had to play a clean game. And unfortunately, as the game went on, it got a little messy. A little penalty yardage kept them alive and gave them some confidence because we were shutting it down. But we gotta keep you just gotta keep pressure on it when you want against a good team. You can't give them new life.
What did you guys learn from this?
Kind of like I kind of said before, gotta play cleaner and gotta keep the pressure on while we up, and can't get comfortable and just gotta keep the intensity up, and that runs hand in hand with penalty-free football and penalty football with some technique maybe get sloppy here and there, or just some hits, or just you just don't want to put it in nobody else's hands but yourself.
Byron said that this team is still trying to learn how to win close games late. How much of a real thing is that, Hannah?
I can only speak with my experience here at Chicago, and I look at it as there's a lot of good lessons to learn out this game. I wouldn't say I think this is a good group of guys that want to win and do it. So I'm not even on as far as he will have better knowledge of that as far as learning how to win. I think we got a group of guys that want to win and do it hard, win a lot. So I think we're gonna go back to work and we're gonna be positive about the things moving forward and really just focus on where we're at right now. And I think that's all that matters, where we're at right now. And I think that should be the focus going forward.
Grady, what did you notice about their run game? It seemed like they weren't really effective with it early on. Late third quarter, they kind of broke it open.
Yeah.
What did you see?
For right now, without watching the film, we definitely was holding better in the first half versus the run, and maybe as the game progressed, maybe it just got a little, they was able to keep a couple runs alive, and the zone read when JJ kept it, something that we just got to work our fundamentals on a little better. So. It's without me seeing the tape is to know exactly what adjustments they made to make it a little better for them. It's hard for me to speak on right now, but at the end of the day, we gotta be better, be consistent all the way through, because we were doing really well at first, and then just gotta continue to keep that foot in the neck.
Would it be fair to say that first drive is something you've really worked on and scripted, and then later things change, and that's part of the challenge of continuing to play well offensively?
That is a challenge in certain aspects. I don't think that was the case in this point. I think we had our plays, we were dialed in and executing regardless of if it was starters or any of the plays that we had on the play sheet. We were able to execute, but we just gotta be able to execute it throughout an entire drive. Can't have the mistakes that keep knocking us back and those different things. And so yeah.
You hear 12 penalties for 127 yards. What do you think?
Yeah, it can't happen. Obviously, it can't happen. Those are things that obviously, contributed to this loss, but amongst other things, but definitely not good.
Rome, for all the talk this preseason about pre-snap stuff, you had 4 false starts in the first half.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're talking about in terms of the stuff that you've been working on?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's all things that we're all involved with and need to, just hone in on those pre-snap things. I mean, that's just stuff that you can't do if you want to have success in this league, and that really, killed us in certain instances. But, we just got to eliminate those, and I think after that we'll be all right.
2 more guys. Did that feel like a carryover? Penalties? Did that feel like a carryover from the preseason? I know it's been talked about a lot, and it happened a lot in the preseason. Did that feel like almost an extension of that?
I mean, I think every time we're out there, anytime you have a streak of them like that, it's something that needs to be resolved. But I don't try to think it carries over from anything. It hasn't been like something that we've all been on the top of our minds, like pre-snap penalties. Obviously, we want to clean it up, but it's a game-to-game, day-to-day basis on that. We just had too many today.
What was Vince's message to you guys?
What was that?
What was Vince's message when you guys got back in the locker room?
His message was just to honestly, understand what happened, soak that in, but understand that we got to, keep rolling. The season is here now. We got a game in 6 days going against Detroit, so got to get ready for that.
All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.